Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Tim Show. Today, we're going to be talking about episode 7 of Wandavision. Now, Wandavision episode 7 is now available to watch on Disney+. If you have not seen it yet, please turn away from this video because I'm going into spoiler territories with this episode. So if you have not seen episode 7 of Wandavision, please click out, go watch it on Disney+, and then come right back here to check out my review of it. And without further ado, you've been warned. Spoilers ahead, folks, for episode 7 of WandaVision. Here we go. So now we are caught up in the modern times for WandaVision. We are no longer revisiting a different era of television. We're now in the modern times. Hence, the kind of theme they kind of play up with this episode is more of a Modern Family type of example. I have not seen Modern Family. I know about the show. I know that it's a very popular show, but not one that I ever got around to seeing. But who knows? Maybe I'll get around to watching it eventually. But that's kind of like the whole thing that they're kind of going for with this episode. Now, we really don't see Wanda a lot in this episode. It's really going from her to Agent Rambeau. Yeah, not much with Wanda, other than that I guess she's got like this really big hangover after what she had to do in the last episode. And a lot of strange things are happening again inside this place that she has, kind of trapped. And she's just really trying to make sense of it all, but just trying to take the time and relax. Meanwhile, Vision is actually reunited. Well, not necessarily reunited, but met up with Darcy. And Vision has been able to take, the whole TV show aspect out of Darcy's head and get her back to her senses. So now Darcy really takes the time in this episode to really bring Vision up to speed about, his past, how he got to this point, and what she believes Wanda's doing for Vision. So that's really all in the case of what Vision has to go through in this episode. Is basically just a catch-up episode for him to get all the facts straight, and then he races off to go and find Wanda. And while Wanda is sort of going through this, change of what's going on in Westview, she decides to have Agatha come in and watch the kids so she can rest. Agatha takes the kids, and that's it for the kids. And then Agent Rambeau finally finds a way. Well, she finds a way, but ends up going in back to Westview on her own. And it looks like after a brief little, not necessarily a montage, but a brief sequence where she's almost like getting some powers, I believe, and hearing some quotes from the Captain Marvel movie, she is now back in Westview trying to calm Wanda down to her senses and try and see if they can try and figure all this stuff out. But Wanda's not too happy about that, even though Agent Rambeau is really trying to get Wanda to understand, like, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm not like the other guys in S.W.O.R.D. I'm here to help you. But Wanda doesn't see it that way. And then Agatha comes in to basically say, Agent Rambeau, shoo. She doesn't need you. Just go, shoo. And Wanda kind of steps away back into Agatha's house. And now we get into the big meat of today's episode. So even though I've gone through this whole, and that's the thing though, with this episode, for it being like a half an hour episode, there's really, it's all the big story points are kind of scattered. It was still a good episode, but it's not, it's not like it doesn't continuously flow, it all goes into different separate sections. So, just again as a little recap, Vision now kind of gets an understanding of why Wanda's doing this because he's teamed up with Darcy. Darcy's on her own. Vision goes to see Wanda. Agatha's got the kids. Agent Rambeau's trying to talk sense into Wanda, but she won't have it. And then we get to the ending of the episode. And I'll just say this once again, if you guys don't want me to go, if you don't want to hear this even further, this is the biggest spoiler of the episode. So, click away if you don't want to hear it. But if you have seen the episode, let's discuss it. Final warning. Here we go. Wanda wants to know where the kids are at. And Agatha's got the kids. So Wanda heads down to the basement of Agatha's house. And she can't find her kids. The kids are gone. And we now learn that Agatha has been the one responsible for some of the freaky stuff going on. It's not just Wanda. It looks like Agatha had a big part to play in this whole thing, in this whole show. But even though we know that Agatha has a hand on, we still don't know her true intentions, and we still don't know the whereabouts of the kids. So that's the next big mystery. And honestly, here's the thing. If you're a nerd about Marvel Comics, you probably saw that coming. You see what I did there? Yeah, you see what I did. Jokes aside, we saw where this character was possibly going, but from doing my research on the character, I wasn't too familiar with the character, but after doing some research and watching this episode, we really still don't understand Agatha's goal. I'm pretty sure in the next 2 episodes, they're really going to go in to explain all that. But for how they did it, it was really good. It was shocking, surprising, what a cliffhanger at the end of the episode. Now we have to wait another week for the next episode. And that's another thing too, guys. We're down to the final 2 episodes. And that means a lot of stuff's going to go down if we're at the last 2 episodes. But overall, this was a pretty good episode. Kind of, a little bit scattered in terms of plot points, but still, I didn't think it was... The other episodes have had a good thing of humor. This episode, I didn't think nailed it too big, but it was okay. I'm going to give episode 7 of WandaVision, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was a really good episode, really sets up a great cliffhanger. But it was all right. It was good. I liked it a lot. And I'm not actually going to talk about this because not really much happens, but I'll let you guys see it for yourselves. There is a mid-credit scene for this episode of WandaVision, so don't skip the credits. Don't skip the first set of credits. After the cutscene, you can skip the end credits, but this is a mid-credit scene, so don't skip it. Because, And I'm actually not going to talk about the mid-credit scene just because you kind of get the idea where it's going, but then there's just a little bit of a thing at the end, and I'm not going to talk about that. But for what I thought of that mid-credit scene, I don't know. Let me just say it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in these final 2 episodes because, it looks like we're caught up now in the present. We have no more eras of television to, go through. So if those of you who have watched WandaVision all this time and have not really been a big fan of the whole sitcom aspect of it, well, congratulations. I'm willing to bet you right now that these final 2 episodes are going to be very intense because we don't have to worry about any of the comedy. It's just going to be action. I'm hoping that it's going to be action-packed and just a great finale for this series. I don't know if they're going to do a second season or if this is going to be just this series finale. But Kevin Feige said you never know. It all depends on the show, but I'm gonna say it's most likely going to be a series finale. I don't think it's going to be a season. I think it's going to be a series, unless they find some way to do this again. But here's what I'm kind of hoping, because now that we're kind of getting into the final 2 episodes, here's somewhat of what I'm hoping to possibly see. I would like to learn a lot more about these characters, especially with Agatha. I really want, if they're going to be introducing some new stuff in the Marvel TV shows, go all out. Really, show me that these characters are going to be sticking around. And then again, this is the first Marvel show where we're going to be introduced to these characters, so there's a lot more we can go on. And I know that there's a particular character that a lot of people think is in the series that I'm curious if he's ever going to make an appearance. I'm not going to say it just in case you guys want to be surprised, but if he's going to show, I'm just curious if he's actually going to show. But I'm hoping that we see that particular character. I'm hoping that these next 2 episodes are actually longer. I'm actually hoping for 45 minutes so we can get a solid 40-minute episode because there's 5 minutes of credits. So a nice 40-minute episode would be really nice. And I don't know, because Kevin Feige, then this isn't a spoiler at all, but Kevin Feige has said that, the things that happen with Wanda in the show are going to lead into other Marvel projects. So part of me really doesn't want to see her become a bad guy. I like her a lot. I like the relationships she's had with these characters throughout the MCU movies. So I don't want her to go insane, but then again, though, I don't know what to expect with Marvel, and that's the exciting thing. But all in all, I'm really just hoping for, they've been doing a great job since episode 1. I can't wait to see how they end it. It's going to be very intense. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with some characters, but I guess we'll have more to talk about next time. So thank you all so much for watching, and I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to talk about the Snyder Cut trailer. Well, the thing is, though, is that if you live in Illinois, where I am, we've been getting hit with a lot of snow, and I've actually been working a lot, and I've just been really tired. So I do apologize to those of you who wanted to see my thoughts on the Snyder Cut trailer. I'm actually not going to do a video on that just because since we're really getting close to the Snyder Cut, and I thought that maybe by talking about the trailer, for some people that might want to know, might want to be kept in the dark, I'm actually not going to go over it. And I am sorry because I said that I would, but I kind of gave it some thought. And I think it would be best for me to really go in detail with the Snyder Cut when it actually comes out. So I hope you guys can forgive me for that. But as a brief little, of what I thought about it, I thought it was epic. I cannot express to you guys how much I'm looking forward to the Snyder Cut. And especially because right after the day after the Snyder Cut comes out, we've got the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. But in terms of the trailer, it was a really good trailer. It showed some new stuff, but there's still a lot of mystery behind it, which I'm excited to see. But I decided I'm not going to do a video about it, so I hope you guys can understand that. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video of me talking about WandaVision. We got 2 more episodes to go, guys. 2 more episodes to go, and then we're going to be moving on to the Falcon and Winter Soldier later in March. So I don't know, guys. I'm really curious to see where they're going to go with this stuff. What did you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Like this video. Share with your friends. Let me know what they thought of it. And I will see you guys next time when we talk about Episode 8.